We are here on a truly momentous occasion, celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of our Adi Guru, Param Pujya Lalaji Maharaj, who was born on Basant Panchami in the year 1873. This is a truly momentous occasion in many ways, and some of those ways have already been pointed out. And I would once again like to take this opportunity to congratulate our beloved Daji on the receipt of this wonderful award of Padma Bhushan. I would like to take this opportunity to take you all on a journey through history, through time, starting from the year 1945, when Babuji Maharaj, on the instructions of the hierarchy and Lalaji Maharaj himself, registered Sri Ramchandra Mission in Shahjahanpur in Uttar Pradesh in the year 1945, a long time ago. I don't think many of us were born even on that day, in that year. In his own words, as spoken to Sister Kasturi Chaturvedi, the mission had not even half a dozen abhyasis at that time. He himself mentioned Sri Ishwar Sahai and his brother Manohar Sahai and Sister Kasturi as being the only abhyasis that he remembered following him at that time. The mission started in a very, very humble way. And in the 60s, which was from when my memory of the mission starts, there were probably a couple of hundred abhyasis in the mission, nobody outside India. Much of the presence in South India in the states of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. And Babuji Maharaj used to celebrate Basant Panchami every year with about 25 to 30 abhyasis. My father, who was affectionately known as Chariji and who was Daji's master and who nominated him as president of Sri Ramchandra Mission as his successor and spiritual representative, started attending Basant from the year, I think, 1965, the year after which he joined the mission. My father, my grandfather, and my mother all started meditating under the Sahaj Marg system in the year 1964, when I was 7 years old. So my association with the mission starts from that year, which is, I guess, 58 years now. By the year 1973, the number of abhyasis in the mission had grown to probably a couple of thousand. Now, 1973 is a very significant year again, because it marked the year when my father received permission from Babuji Maharaj to celebrate the birth anniversary, the birth centenary of Pujya Lalaji Maharaj in Madras. Basant Panchami in 1973 actually fell on the 8th of February. However, on the 7th and 8th of February that year, Babuji celebrated Basant Panchami privately with about 25 to 30 abhyasis around him, mostly abhyasis from Madras Center. The public celebration of Lalaji's birth centenary celebrations was held at the Rajeshwari Kalyana Mandapam and its annex, the Shivakami Kalyana Mandapam, during the period from the 22nd to the 26th of February. Now, 1973, I was 15 and a half. And I have to tell you that my memories are a little foggy due to the passage of time, but I remember a lot of the things. The event was planned for about 1500 Abhyasis, but there was some problem, some agitation, because of which trains running from North India through Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu could not run. And so the number fell to about 1,000 finally. Babuji actually entered the celebration venue on the 22nd itself and stayed there till the night of 26th. At this time, there were probably half a dozen publications in the mission in total. Among them, Reality at Dawn, Efficacy of Raj Yoga, Philosophy of Sahaj Marg, Towards Infinity, Peep into Sahaj Marg, Commentary on 10 Commandments of Sahaj Marg, and also India in the West. These books originally were priced at 5 rupees each. And with great difficulty, I remember my father persuaded Babuji to reprice them at 8 rupees. This is just to give us an understanding of where life was at that time compared to where it is now. By 1973 also, centers had sprouted for the mission in Denmark, in Holland, in France, Italy, Germany, and in the United States, so that there was some international representation at the Bandara. Now, we have to understand that this, at that moment in time, was the culmination of a tremendous amount of unremitting toil by the masters of the mission. Babuji records in his diary that he used to get into a train, getting down at stations along the way, and at every station that he got down on, he would hire a rickshaw, go around the city or town or village as it was, transmitting, praying that Sahaj Marg should take root there. In this way, he laid the foundation for the growth of Sahaj Marg all over India. He traveled by third class because he was not a wealthy person, and he, at that time, used to fund all the mission activities by himself. This was a time before there was anybody who was there to donate anything towards the growth of the mission. In 1973, at the time of the celebration of Lalaji's birth centenary, the mission, as I said, had grown to about 2,000. The main days of the celebration were the 24th and the 25th. And during that time, there were a certain number of significant events. The first colored photograph of Lalaji Maharaj was created and published and was put in the meditation hall for all to see. Before that, there were only black and white photographs, and that too maybe 2 or 3 in number. The centenary celebrations also marked the first time ever in the history of the mission that there was a metal badge showing a person to be a member of Sri Ramchandra mission. The badge was created and priced at 5 rupees. And Babuji, I remember, very proudly paid 5 rupees to my father, took a badge and wore it every day during the celebration. The celebration was also the time when India in the West, written by my father, a travelogue of Babuji and his travels to the West for the first time in 1971 was released. And more importantly, the release of Truth Eternal, Lalaji Maharaj's seminal work describing the Sahaj Marg system. Truth Eternal was published in Madras, printed by the Kabir Printing Works, and was priced at 10 rupees. 500 copies were printed and were sold completely out during the celebration itself. Today, a print run of 500 is a private publication, just to put a perspective on things. On the main day, Babuji Maharaj read a message for all Abhyasis to hear. And I remember he broke down on a couple of occasions when he mentioned Lalaji Maharaj's name. As a child, I was witness to a number of occasions when Babuji Maharaj received Lalaji Maharaj among us, and his eyes always used to fill with tears every time he mentioned his master's name. Such was his love for his master. Over the 5 days of the celebration, I think a total of something like 1,000 Abhyasis attended. And it is noteworthy that after all expenses were met, there was a net profit of something like 90,000 rupees. Babuji immediately instructed my father to put it in an account in a bank and reserve it towards the creation of an ashram for Madras. Now, how do I know all this? I was there. This was the first time that I volunteered my services to the mission. I was in the registration counter, receiving Abhyasis as they entered, and I was present during the celebration. Once, I have to say this is also an offshoot of the celebration. On the 26th night, it is recorded that Babuji spoke to Sister Kasturi Chaturvedi and told her that he could never have imagined the mission growing to such a size that he would see 1,500 people almost celebrating his beloved master's birth centenary. He also communicated his happiness to my father. And I guess he must have been really happy because in the next year, he appointed him as his successor and spiritual representative. The letter which he posted from Shahjahanpur was received through registered post. I received that letter, and my father says in his diary that I jokingly asked him, "Has Babuji made you his successor?" To which, of course, I received no reply. The letter went into a bank locker to be removed after Babuji's passing. Throughout his life, my father dedicated his life, his every waking minute, to serving his master. He had been asked many times, "Are you serving the people or are you serving the master?" He always said, "I serve my master, and through that, I serve the people." He started traveling for the mission from the year 1965 and logged countless miles in India and abroad. When he became the master of Sri Ramchandra Mission in the year 1983, in April, after Babuji attained Mahasamadhi, his travels only increased. We rarely saw him at home. He used to be away for more than 6 months a year. And over the course of 30 years, during the lifetime of Babuji Maharaj, the mission had spread to something like 3,000 Abhyasis. We had 13 ashrams across India, none abroad, probably around 500 Abhyasis outside India. This was what my father started with when he became president of Sri Ramchandra Mission. over 30 years from 1983 to 2014 when he passed away, he took this mission which his master had entrusted to him and grew it so that it spread through 125 countries around the world, had an Abhyasi population of probably something like 250,000 Abhyasis, 150 ashrams over India, and something like a dozen ashrams outside India. We have seen with our own eyes what our beloved Daji has done with it. He has taken it and exploded it to every corner of this globe so that it is now in 150 countries across the world, and through his own ingenious and subtle morphing of Sahaj Marg into the Heartfulness way, he has ensured that it will reach virtually every person on this planet. The seed that Lalaji sowed grew into a plant during Babuji's lifetime, grew into a tree during my father's lifetime, and that tree has yielded many, many fruits, which have now been planted across the globe. So I am proud to stand here today and tell you that I have been witness to all of this. I am proud to call Kamlesh Bhai my elder brother and my master, and I am proud to be a part of this organization and this way that I have been a part of now 58 years. I was permitted by Babuji Maharaj to start meditating during Basant Panchami, I think in the year 1970 or 71. And I was introduced into the mission by him personally on the 20th of November 1973. So I'm 50 years an Abhyasi this year. It is not a matter for applause. It is an honor, a unique privilege, and also a tremendous responsibility. More than the privilege and the honor, I feel the burden of that responsibility every single day of my life. I have to ask myself the question, why was I born the son of a master? What is the purpose of my existence? What am I supposed to do? And the answer that comes back to me every day is that I was brought here, my soul brought me here to serve the master, to be a part of this great journey that he undertook in service of his master, and to assist him in whatever small way I can, just as the squirrel helped Lord Rama build the Ram Setu across from India into Sri Lanka. I am therefore humbled and proud both at the same time to have been given this unique opportunity of seeing not one, not two, but three masters in one lifetime. I am like a comet that passes by not one, not two, but three suns in its journey across the universe. It is a unique honor and a privilege and a responsibility, as I have said, and I will remember this as long as I live. I take this opportunity to salute you, beloved Kamlesh Bhai, beloved Daji, and to pray that the masters of the hierarchy bless you with a long life and bless you with success in this remarkable endeavor of heartfulness. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Krishna. Respected elders, very dear sisters and brothers. Yesterday when I was called to accept, if I were willing to accept this award, it was a surprise for me. And I say I do accept it on behalf of the hierarchy of masters and the organization. And would it have been possible without the help of sisters and brothers who have been traveling to schools, 25,000 schools and 6,000 colleges, many corporate offices, villages, thousands of villages, they go toiling. They don't even know where they're sleeping. They don't even know where from the next meal will come, in whose house they will be staying, and offering this practice for free without any salaries to themselves happens only in Sahaj Marg. And for that, my dear sisters and brothers, I'm very, very proud of you. And this award is not mine, it's all yours. I speak very honestly, very sincerely and truthfully that this award really, really, really belongs to you, not me. Important announcement now. We have been celebrating 4 Bandaras per year. That means you're easily spending 45 days if you have to attend 4 Bandaras, and on top of that make additional visits now and then to Kanha. It is a bit too much. I had been pondering over it during lifetime of our sister Ellen Perry. I would request her to communicate to Babuji Maharaj and say what to do. There will be hundreds of masters. Should we celebrate 100 birthdays separately? 400 days, and you don't have 400 days in a year. So Babuji took long time answering. He answered that he will get the answer at right time. And the answer did came a few weeks back. He says divide the year into 2, 6 months from January to June 30th, and from 1st July to 31st or 30th of December. Whoever is born before 30th, this master, will celebrate combined birthdays of all those masters before 30th of June on Basant Panchami. And later he added, whoever is born between 1st July and end of the year, 28th September. I remarked to Babuji Maharaj, why not later on, if the living master is then in this segment, it will be appropriate. He said, no, there are many reasons which you will understand that these 2 dates are important. Vasant and 28th September. I didn't argue. It's not in my habit to argue. So I said, yes, Babuji, it will be done. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Please follow it up.
That doesn't mean that we will not celebrate individuals' masters' birthdays. You can celebrate at home in your hearts. These two will be the tradition going forward. Thank you.